Well, welcome back to our new Cinetations, where we see if a certain cinema holds up to our expectations. In the wake of a new Jurassic World movie, we've been in a dino craze. So to fix that itch, we found the Jurassic games. Let's get into it. Go, go,
Okay.
go.
So Jurassic Games was a movie, an unfortunate movie, released on June 12, 2018 through streaming and DVD. You can buy this at Walmart for like less than $10.
I'd buy it.
I wouldn't. The studio behind it was High Octane Pictures. The director was Ryan Bellegard. The last name was a choice. And then the writer was Ryan Merriman. Merriman.
Barnacle Boy.
Yeah. So what's the plot?
So 10 death row inmates have to survive a fight for survival in a virtual world full of dinosaurs in order for one of them to get their freedom. We follow the character Tucker, a widower trying to make it back to his 2 kids after being framed for the murder of his wife.
Now on to the actors. The actors are really a bunch of nobodies.
So I feel like they did a decent job for the most part.
I mean, they weren't, I didn't hate them.
I'd give them a gold star.
The movie, the actors, it wasn't terrible. I've seen worse, much worse. Now, as far as the characters they played, because I actually have more info on those than a bunch of nobodies. So you have the 10 killers. So you have Joy, who's the psycho, literally who she is. You got Stephanie, who's the serial killer who killed 6 men and posted the videos online. You got Anthony Tucker, of course, who is the man who is innocent but framed for the murder of his wife, or blamed for it. You got Albert, who's a cannibal. Dr. Eli Franklin, who bombed a school because I guess he really hated his students that much. You got the Wasp, aka Victor Gonzalez, leader of a drug cartel. You have the 2 brothers, literally called Big Brother and Little Brother, or the code names that the hosts of the show gave them, Abel and Cain. And then you got Ren, who killed a U.S. senator in 2030. So this movie takes place in the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, yeah, what year was it?
Ren killed a senator in 2030. So this is in the future.
So it doesn't state when the games take place, though.
No, it just states that he killed somebody in 2030. It's at least probably 2032 or better. That sounded like a couple of years ago. And then last but not least, you got the 10th guy, you got William Davis, who was charged with 23 counts of drug-related homicide.
All right, sounds like a party.
Get lit. Yeah, a lot.
All you need is a cleric, a mage, and...
Oh, no.
Wrong party?
Wrong party.
Oh, no.
And then, of course, the host was played by the only known the only actor people would probably know is Ryan Merriman, the guy who wrote it. AKA, he was also on a bunch of Disney Channel original movies back in the 90s and early 2000s, and the Ring franchise, as a college kid who died. Great.
That was the wrong time to be part of the Disney Channel.
No, he was part of the movie Smart House and... Luck of the Irish. Those are good ones.
Was he the main character?
Yes.
What?
He was the main character in Luck of the Irish and the son in Smart House. Yeah, that's him.
I kind of like those movies.
Same here. They're some of my favorites.
Wow. Give us your personal rundown.
Well,
Let's, run that down. Touchdown. 4 points.
Your puns are killing me inside. So the storyline itself, it's basically just Hunger Games meet Jurassic Park meets.
I did have a few of those written. So I had Gamer.
Yeah.
I had Death Race.
Yeah.
I had Predator.
Yeah.
And I had Hunger Games. Those were the main ones that I fused with Jurassic Park.
The CGI wasn't terrible either. It was actually not bad for a movie of this caliber, or lack thereof. My biggest complaint as far as the CGI goes, the dinosaurs look too much like Jurassic Park. I know what they're trying to go for. This is going to be one of those copycat movies to confuse people to buy it on DVD. I would have loved it more if they actually did research on the dinosaurs and made the dinosaurs look like more than they should have. I honestly would have done that, because I'd be like, oh, they actually did research, but obviously they didn't. They just took Jurassic Park and made copycats of the dinosaurs.
And I can kind of see that, but they did seem like they stood alone enough. They weren't completely there. They kind of had, more elongated snouts and certain other features.
And fun fact, if you didn't know, the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are not what dinosaurs actually look like.
I think the biggest issue one is just the Velociraptor.
Yeah. Did you know they're like 3 feet tall and have feathers?
Right, but not all the dinosaurs had feathers.
Well, the Velociraptors did.
Right. So, but it's like they're already canonized their own dinosaurs, so you can't change it. You have that issue where you're either, do we want to be scientifically correct, or do we want to keep our fan base?
Well, I mean, that's scientifically correct. I just want more creative freedom than just like copy and paste, essentially. I want more creativity put in the dinosaurs initially. It doesn't have to be scientifically accurate. It'd be cool, but I mean, just like a little more creativity with them, you know?
No, I thought it kind of was all right. Since it was supposed to be in a virtual world, I didn't knock down the CGI effect that much.
Well, the CGI itself, I'll talk more about the model. The CGI itself wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good.
I'm trying not to think too deep into it because, like, well, how come the environment looked more real than the creatures? And back and forth with that, but it's like, you know, I'm not gonna give it down just because it wasn't in a real world.
True. Overall, it wasn't bad. It was just like, okay, I've seen all of this before in different movies, but all of it together was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, this is an interesting take on this from the get-go.
Right. And speaking of the host,
oh my god, he's my favorite character in this whole damn movie.
I honestly wished, because I really like the saber-tooth helmet and
I
like
know.
the black suit thing. I really wish he would have stayed with that.
I know, the whole time. I would love that.
Like, if that was just his host outfit, that would have looked a lot cooler.
I want that helmet.
It's a cool looking helmet, yeah.
I want that helmet.
I kind of preferred him to be snarky, no-face host.
Exactly, same.
Even when he was direct to viewing public, keep the helmet on.
Yeah, add that illusion, add layer to it. The host was my favorite because he was so, nothing ever bad's going to happen to me or this show. Don't worry about the cavemen, which, by the way, the cavemen in the story were a hacker group who said
They were super hackers.
They were super hackers who said they were going to mess up the show at the end. I mean, they kind of did, sort of.
But then they didn't.
Actually, they never said if the person that what happened at the end was the cavemen or not. They never said she was part of the cavemen.
Well, sure, they didn't run out and exclaim their group name waving a flag, but I think that's part of the, you can put the 2 and 2 together.
I mean, I kind of assumed that she was.
And then I like how at the end it didn't matter anyways.
True, because everyone died. But...
No, not that everyone died, is that the games kept going.
True, I was like, what the hell?
It kind of has a normal fact, I think, that it kind of did have some, this would happen in the real world, where, because the main show curator lady...
Yeah, Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah, she had her point where people enjoy watching people go through that. Like, she brought up the gladiators in the Colosseum.
Amen.
And another example I have is during the Civil War times or whatever, you know, cue the cannons, people would go have... Yeah, people would have picnics with their family.
Exactly, while the war's happening right below
while
them.
A war is going on 100 yards ahead of them.
And half the time, people got caught up in that and people died. They're just sitting there eating a sandwich while watching a damn war happen before their eyes.
So, throwing people into a virtual reality world where they're not even technically getting killed in that fashion. I mean, it's like watching an esports game.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that happening today.
Yeah, just think of that for your next Overwatch or StarCraft game. You lose in the game, you lose in real life.
Dun, dun, dun.
Turn up those stakes.
Joy. I hated her. I don't know about you, but she was annoying.
Joy was the greatest.
Joy was the most annoying. I want her to die sooner. She had this thing against Tucker for so long, and you have no idea why.
That was one of the obvious parts from the beginning, where it was just, okay, she's obviously she's too important here for the ending plot point.
I like Stephanie more. She was better.
Because it was interesting, because she started off all shy and quiet to very vocal.
Yeah, the cannibal was a bit much too. I like the cannibal. He was crazy. He just started to bite people's necks every so often. He's like, this is good. And just moving on.
So what do you give it? Do you give it a pass, watchable for free, or would you pay for it?
I would say pass on it. You're not missing much at all. I'd say pass. What would you say?
I'd go watchable for free.
Watchable for free?
Yeah.
Also, on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie has an 80%. It has a higher rating than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. What is wrong with this world?
So you're saying it's better?
It's not.
Get that golden star right there in the corner.
It's 80% why. People are stupid. Anyway.
Don't worry about it. Well, watch it on your own or not.
Yeah.
You already know the whole plot point anyways.
True.
So what did you expect from it going in?
I expected literally to be terrible. Like, I didn't expect much out of it at all because I thought it was just going to be a bad, horrible...
I was expecting kind of, like Asylum or Sci-Fi Channel kind of clunky CGI.
Yeah.
That's what I expected. And then I was like, okay, I'm following. I can follow this.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Give it a bigger budget. I could watch a series.
Yeah, same. wasn't. I mean, it was still terrible, but it was enjoyable terrible. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us with this week's Cinetations, where we see if a film holds up to our expectations. I hope you guys enjoyed us talking about a terrible movie.
I enjoyed
Jurassic Games, the Jurassic Games. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.
The Jurassic Games. Let's get into it.
Oh, okay. That intro, though. So, Jurassic
My
Games.
intro.
That intro, though. That was
Why don't you like my
very.
intro?
It sounded too like, hi, blah, 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 blah,
Fine,
blah,
I'll
blah,
do
blah,
it again.
blah.
Fine. How should I go about it then?
A little less robotic, like you're reading a freaking paper?
I am reading.
Enthusiasm, you sound like you're just.
Welcome. Sure. New Cinetations. 10 death row inmates have the.
You're gonna have fun editing this.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna suck. Character Tucker, a widower with his 2 kids, trying to make it back to them after being framed for the wife of his murder.
The wife of his murder. The murder of his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
I can see that on my script here. That might sound a little better.